going on, Jeromes? Beautiful Wednesday Q&A. Let's get it on. First up is from Jumpy Jeffrey. Harrison Smith got beat pretty bad a few times last year. Is it worth starting him with all the other young talent around him? And what scenarios should he be put in the game? Well, so this actually got me thinking. So I looked up Harrison's coverage numbers last year. So in 2022, he played a lot more coverage because Donachelle had him, playing a lot more split safeties. So Harrison was back there quite a bit, and he did get beat for 2 touchdowns in coverage, and he did give up some plays, but that's because he was on the back end. Now with Flores, he was back to like the Zimmer era, where he was up near the line of scrimmage, not playing a ton of coverage, and he actually gave up 0 touchdowns in coverage last year. 32 catches for 262 on 49 targets, which is pretty good. 78.8 quarterback rating, which was his lowest when thrown at over the last 3 years, which is good. That felt good. Haven't done that for a while. As well as 0 coverage penalties. He did have, like we said, 0 picks last year versus 5 in 2022, but that's because he was playing way more coverage. And the whole thing about it is, like, Harrison is not Harrison, like he used to be, but is he still a top 15, top 18 safety in this league? Yes. Yeah, and I think that the thing about him is that it's not a charity case. Like, this is not just a, hey, old man, one last ride deal. No, Harrison Smith is still a significant player on this team, on the field, not just like leadership or intangibles wise. So Harrison's going to be on the field. I think that will reduce his snaps. I don't think he'll play 92% of the snaps like he did last year. But either way, he will still have a very defined and very solid role in this defense. Number 2, Adrian Lambert. Why does it seem like everyone just gave up and forgot about Hall after last season? Well, so it's always that what have you done for me lately league, and we are a microwave versus crockpot society, and I still think that Jaren Hall does have some ability. I think that his arm is solid. I think that his skill set matches up nicely with what the Vikings want to do. A lot of play action, a lot of boot action, and last year, just go back to that second drive against the Falcons, man, where he looked really damn good. Unfortunately, got concussed and opened up the door for Passionate time. And the whole first half against the Packers thing, yeah, just write that off. But I understand that people sort of have a sour taste in their mouth because of, well, he tried to throw a deep ball, but he threw a duck. Right. And yeah, I mean, you do have to take advantage of your opportunities. And, given that you're a 6th round pick, you're not going to get too many opportunities here or there. But I still think that he's a guy that I would like to keep in the sphere, probably on the practice squad. Well, definitely on the practice squad. But I think that he's a guy that can still grow and show, even with McCarthy, even with Darnold and Mullins on the roster. I think that it would behoove them to keep 4 quarterbacks in the sphere. So Darnold, Mullins, McCarthy on the 53, and then Jaren Hall on the practice squad. And he can still develop. Like, even though he's like 10 months younger than Sam Darnold or something like that, I still think that he could develop into a solid backup, which, for his draft status, it's definitely a win at this point. Next, Michael Hastery, happy birthday. Thank you. Belated birthday. Do you think it's smart to trade for Aaron Birdbones for his last 2 years? No, absolutely not. Now, the thing about it is, like, Rodgers was bad his last season in Green Bay, like straight up terrible. And there was a reason why they became more of a running team with Rodgers, with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon's, because Rodgers was bad. And I feel like his Achilles injury last year really covered up his deficiencies because, sort of out of sight, out of mind. But his 2022 season with the Packers was not good. People just completely forget that. Plus, I mean, it's clear that his mind is interested elsewhere. It's not on football, and the Jets will feel that this year for sure. And no, like, when the Vikings brought in Bert Favre after his year with the Jets, like, it was clear that Favre still loved the game. Still want to say F you to the Packers. I don't think Rodgers cares at all. And the Vikings, the Vikings had, what, T-Jack? They had T-Jack and Sage Rosenfels. So the cupboard was pretty bare at quarterback. And here you got McCarthy. So you're not going to sign Rodgers to just impede McCarthy. Ain't going to do that. Nah. Rob's honest prediction, will we win a Super Bowl before the next decade? I think it might be a little bit too verbose to say when. I will say within the next 10 years, though, with Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings will have a Super Bowl appearance. Now, if they win, it's out of our hands. But I will say that they'll make one Super Bowl at least in the next 10 years. But, of course, win a dozen Joe Bardys in the next 10 seasons. But also, like, you would sign up for that, wouldn't you? I feel like most fan bases would, where it's like, hey, in the next 10 years, you are guaranteed to go to the Super Bowl at least once, and then whatever happens, happens. I think you'll take that roll of the dice. Yeah. So that's my prediction. The Vikings will get to at least one Super Bowl in the next 10 years. Yeah. Lastly, the soggy biscuit. Handy, just curious as to why you're not as big of a hockey guy. I enjoy it because it's sort of a mix between soccer and American football, but played on ice and it's super fast-paced and can be exciting if you learn the rules of the game. Now, I like going to hockey games. I'm just not, I don't know, like attending a hockey game live, whether it's NHL or like high-level minor league, like it's a completely different beast, right? So you basically just go there, you drink a couple beers, you add to the beer snake. It's great, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch a hockey game on TV. It's just not really my thing. Mainly it's because I grew up in the one corner of the state that doesn't give two hoots about hockey. Like Southeast Minnesota, it's about football, wrestling, and basketball. Yeah, that's really about it. But I just think it's not growing up with it, or my dad and my grandpa didn't care about hockey that much either. I'm sure if I grew up in like a hockey part of the state or a hockey family, it would be different. But also, there's not enough Asians. That's my entire crux. That's why I only got into the NBA because of Linsanity and Yao Ming and Wang Zhizhi. Something like that. But although the Robertson brothers are interesting because they have a sister named Bree who is like a crusher, like in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like champion. She's awesome, man. But yeah, I respect the game, and I've said before, I actually feel like hockey players are the best athletes in the world because you have to have eye-hand coordination like baseball. You have to have physical speed and agility like basketball. You have to have physical toughness like football. You have to do all that while skating. Nah. Who can skate? I can't skate, which I don't know. Also, this may be mean, but I intentionally made it so that my kids didn't learn how to skate because I do not want them playing hockey. And it's not some moral thing. It's literally just like I see how hockey parents are, and I see how hockey parents have to spend their weekends. Well, we got ice time in Fridley at 6:45 a.m., and then we're down in Jordan for the 4 o'clock game, and then we're back over to Woodbury because we got time at the Civic Arena at 9:30, and that's how we spend our Saturday. No. It's like you have to get a Tahoe just to haul all the equipment. Nah. And like all the hockey parents, you hate them because their kid isn't on the good line with like the good player. Nah. F it. Because I know for a fact that like my two boys, like eventually their friends will play hockey. It's like, hey, I want to play hockey. It's like, can you skate? Oh, checkmate. That's right, babe. Just stick to track, stick to jiu-jitsu or judo, stick to soccer, and that's it. We'll be fine. Yeah. I don't even know if I'll have my kids play American football. My middle son is going to try flag football. We'll see what happens there, but just haven't really had interest. It's all good. Anyways, that's it. Vikings Q&A for this beautiful Wednesday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.